Hi, this is Angela Fiorentino, and I'm going to be educating about instructional teaching methods of technology. So technology is being used more and more in education today. As a society, um, we just have so much technology at our fingertips to jump on the computer and look up really anything we want. So technology broadens and adds variety to the opportunities for teaching and learning, and it uses different types of technology that assists the educator in helping learners meet their individual needs and different styles of learning. Um, Different patients have different needs, and technology really has a way to accommodate everyone. So technology has a potential for impacting teaching and the learning process by convenience, accessibility, and stimulation. Um, Convenience and accessibility, I think I mentioned, we just have so much technology at our fingertips. Computers everywhere. Each of us have phones, mostly, and stimulation. Just using videos and pictures really help emphasize any education that's being taught. So the three domains of learning are cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. The first one is cognitive, and I think technology does fall into the cognitive domain, which includes recall and recognition of facts and concepts, thinking processes, understanding concepts, mental capacities, and intellectual abilities. So there's 6 levels of the cognitive domain, which are knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation, which the goal is to use every one of them when being educated. So the reason why learning by method of technology like podcasts and videos falls into this domain is because the learner is going through each of these 6 layers. So they are gaining knowledge, and then they go into developing an understanding of the content, and then they're able to apply it and recall it later. Next is affective, which is the feeling domain. So this specifies the degree of a learner's depth of emotional responses to tasks and really includes um, emotions, interests, beliefs, values, motivation, and it really talks about feeling. And this may not, people may not think that this is really with technology, but it is, because we have a lot of good way of motivating the patient through technology, especially when educating. And through discussion boards and things like that, we can discuss different values and interests and beliefs patients have, or even just peers, anyone learning. And you can go back and forth and discuss this, explore emotional opinions and biases, and really develop a good plan of care for the patient and plan some good education. And then there's psychomotor, which is the skills domain, and this is really anything physical that the learner is being educated on, any tasks that they're going to perform. And here are some examples of each of the domains relating to technology. So in the cognitive domain, a PowerPoint on stroke. So the patient's learning about signs and symptoms of a stroke. They're really thinking about this and understanding it and going to be able to recall it later. So that falls into cognitive. And then there's something like involving patient in opinions and thoughts in their plan of care, motivating them to quit smoking. That would fall under affective. And then anything like videos about how to perform tasks like self-breast examinations or how to inject insulin at home, that's psychomotor because it's teaching about a skill. So then I get into pros and cons of technology, in which there are many of each. Some of the pros would be collaboration with others in online discussions and webinars, video chats, things like that. Also, online classes are a huge pro because students can take classes without having to come to a building and learn. So that is very helpful for anyone doing continuing education or getting a second degree or third. Also, it's very instantaneous. Like I said, you can jump on the internet and access anything you really want to at the click of a button. And then there's exemplary visual and audio that really just adds to any education being taught. Next is cons. So there are many cons to technology, which I do agree with a lot of them. It can pose as a distraction to students, especially in the home setting when you're using technology, get up to get a snack and then just get distracted from there on. There's nothing physically holding you in a classroom. Next is unequal access to technological resources among patients. This is actually very valid because a lot of patients don't have the money or transportation to access this technology, so it wouldn't be helpful for them. Also, in the geriatric population, this does pose a barrier because many older people don't really understand the use of technology well or don't really want to learn through technology. They want to sit down and read something or be face to face with someone. So going to my first example being computer-assisted learning, this would be like students viewing online lectures or online classes. I know as nurses we do a lot of continuing education through the computer, viewing like a module and then answering questions at the end to get a certificate. Next would be like patients viewing lectures on a PowerPoint, even if it's in a classroom setting and they're viewing a PowerPoint, this is still by computer assisted and it's through technology that the patient is being educated. Next are mobile devices, and I don't see a lot of this being used in my patient setting right now, but I see it in the future. Patients that are younger can jump on to their smartphones and look up a new diagnosis, or if they find out that their sodium's low, they can look up what that means and be educated through that. They can also gain access to medical apps as students for question and answers or tips, recommendations, etc. Next is group teaching, and this really changes one-on-one education to the ability to teach a group of patients or peers, which actually can improve staffing and time management in the end. This also allows for open discussion among patients or peers, which allows for a better understanding of topics because you're allowed to do question and answer, and people can gain a more broad understanding. This could include things like podcasts or webinars, video chats, anything really interactive and as a group. Next is video, which is used a lot in my patient care setting now. We frequently show videos of how to inject a insulin shot at home, how to check your blood pressure daily, how to check your blood sugar daily, and a lot of doctors use this as well for prescribing a new medication. They'll show a video of how medication works in the body and why it's needed for a specific disease. So these videos can show you how to perform important tasks at home. And here underneath the link is one of a patient taking their own blood sugar. And it's a good video and it shows the patient how to do it, and then they can further do that at home, which is a very important task when being discharged. Next is visual, and I gave the example of tablets, iPads, and screens. In the future, I can see doctors doing things such as using an iPad to show a patient the result of an ultrasound or an echo so that the patient doesn't have to interpret medical jargon. They can actually look at a screen and understand what the doctor is talking about. So this will eliminate a lot of miscommunication. Next are podcasts and blogs, and I can see a lot of younger patients doing this, jumping on the internet and reading blogs from other patients that are experiencing the same type of diagnosis, what their experience have been like and what medications they've tried, etc. And listening to podcasts from other doctors, maybe not just their own, about what's to come in this future diagnosis. And really there's so much more when it comes to technology and education. Just some are diet planning online, video chats with doctors, simulation, online seminars, etc. I really like to look at technology as an umbrella overall because it really does encompass every other method of education. We all picked our own method, but technology really can be used for any of them. It can be used for gaming, simulation, collaboration, through technology, we can educate in any of these ways. Um, it does really accommodate most people and their needs. So that is my presentation about technology, and here are my references. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.